What's going on, guys? It's DigiWatch TCG coming to you with a deck profile, and I'm here with Justin. Justin, what did you just do?
I squeaked in to 16th at the PPG Ultimate Cup um, after 8 long hours.
I'm there with you. I was there too. Um,
Awesome.
yeah. What did you? You got 16th place, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I went 6-1-1 um, with security control today.
Oh, nice. All right. Well, I'm glad to have you on the channel. This is going to be on YouTube in probably a few days.
Awesome.
All right. So whenever you're ready, you can go into the deck profile.
Awesome. Sure. So we'll start with the eggs. So a lot of people. So this is a little bit different variation of security control. So this is it's still playing purple and yellow, but has red eggs. I play. Um, I think it's stuck together. Yep. I play four Digimon because, as you'll see, I play Guillemon as my rookie instead of Salamon, and that's because in this format I realized that, or like in general, this archetype is really detrimental, or it takes a lot of hits when you have a bad hand, especially in places where there's no mulligans. Like I top 16'd Otakon with Setcon a couple months ago, and that iteration was all yellow purple, and you're playing like Blade of the True and stuff like that. So Guillemon fixes that because you go Guillemon. Let's say you're going first, so you go Evolve Guillemon, draw. That's one card, and then turn two. That's a second card, and then you push up swing. That's four cards. You're plussing four cards in your hand. You're plussing two cards in your hand when it would usually be two. So it's really great. After playing this version, I don't think I would go back to the yellow version, to be frank with you.
All right. All right. So let's see what the rest of the deck looks like.
Sure. So we're going to start off with the Digimon. Um, it plays for the Guillemon. They're promo Guillemons. It's just on attacking, draw one. So like I said, just draw two. I never hard played this. I hard played it once, I think, in whatever 8 rounds, two or three, like whatever, like 20 something games. Um, Very self explanatory. You don't care if it dies. Unlike a Salamon, you're like, oh well, shoot. Like you swing in and like I don't want to swing with it because like it won't recover one, and the next turn they'll chip two. Like you don't care if this dies. I played Examon, I think round 3 or 4, and I push it up. He goes forced to attack. I was like, all right, cool, draw two. Like I just don't care. My ultimate opening hand with this deck was open a Guillemon and open a decent Tamer, and I'm set. Like it's great. Then we play four of the Recovery Magna Angemon. Um, Excellent card, super self-explanatory. But for if you don't know, it's 7 cost, 6K. On play, recover one, which is very simple, and it synergizes well with change I made. The only two level sixes I play are Seraphimon, and it's great because with the tamers and kind of way you can manipulate memory, you can get this out, recover one, and then go into Seraphi and recover another one. I did that multiple times during the day. And also, it works well. So if you go over this, and let's say you have 6 security, you'll swing for 2 checks at 12, and it usually it usually won't die. Then we have 2 Death X. Just for the wider boards. I use it a lot against Jessmon. I didn't play any Bloom Lord today. But it's just a great option to like stop people from like they're like, oh well, like if I go wide enough, then I'm not going to be able to like the old like the yellow version where it plays like Venus and stuff. Like you really don't have an answer for their wide board outside of like maybe a Schwarz. And then I play 3 1-ofs. I play one of these, not for the inheritable, but for the on play. This secured a game against Melga, against Kyle Kemper. Shout out to Kyle, amazing player. He swung into it, hit a Flame Hell Scythe. This came out minus two checks, and he just was like, "You got me." Then we play the Junomon and Avenged Kidmon for the loop. if I have to make any point, is you don't take these out. I've seen people cutting this and the Calling for Darkness that's played for like another tamer or more options or stuff like that. No chance. I use this more times today than I can count. Like I would have decked out without this combo. So in terms of Digimon, I don't really see any ratios changing for the moment. The list is really tight as is. If there's a 51st card, it would be a yellow or purple hybrid. It really doesn't matter. I would go with the yellow because you have a couple. You really have even amount of yellow and purple sources, so just a hybrid. It didn't. It wasn't. Or like I was going to lose a game if I didn't have it, or well, I won a game if I didn't have it. But it helped secure something else. It would have helped secure like a more definitive win. So we're going to move on to the Tamers next. Next we play. So starting off with 4 Mimi, 2 cost purple Mimi. This synergizes super well. For anyone who doesn't know, whenever an option is played, either on your side or your opponent's side, all turns, you tap this, gain a memory. It's super great. I learned that not recently, but I learned when EX9 came out that this interacts with X antibody. And so, again, against the Melga, I had him at checkmate because I had 2 of these out and 3. There are 3 of these out and 2 of the purple Karis out that I'll show you. And he was like, he just couldn't. He couldn't play Hammer Spark and X Antibody and like, you know what I mean? So then we play 4 of the purple Kari. A couple sets ago, like BT9, I would say this was okay at 3. It has to stay at 4. This helped me win a game against Examon because he only had a Davis out. So he would go, I had 4 of these out. He had a Davis. He'd go swing Examon, restand. I'd go, cool, pass turn. And it allowed me to draw enough to get out of like a kind of a sticky situation with some poor security. Next up, we have 3 newer additions that are played in the red package. It's 3 Karis. It's played mostly for the red and yellow source. I honestly didn't use its tap ability, which is minus 2k to your opponent's security, and it just never came up. Like, I just didn't care all that much. Then, you can, like, it would have been smart, but it was never to the point where it was detrimental. And then I play 3 1-ofs. I play 1 TK, just so you can grab something out, grab out a yellow, recover, and then earlier, I think like round 6 or 7, I grabbed out an Avenge Kit mod, which I really needed. Kari, so you can recover. A great combo I did is if you have all 4 of these out plus this, it makes your Flame Hell Scythe cost 1, which is fantastic. Serafi costs 2, things like that. And then one addition that I haven't seen anyone play is 1 TK and Kari. And the only reason that this is in here is because scrambling around my room, I couldn't find a 4th one of these. But funny enough, it came up a lot. I remember opening this and some stuff I couldn't mulligan away, but I was like, you know what? Like I said earlier, Guillemon, boom, forces them to be like, oh, well, shoot, I can't start swinging. So really, like, I don't want to say it's inconsequential between these 2, but this came up, like, you know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like, it's honestly preference. It's anecdotal. You could be like, oh, it never came up, or it always come up. So other than that, so basically, like, you have 1 flex spot in this area.
So would you like, I guess to say, like you said, you don't have that's like the 1 flex spot. Like, what would you like? Are you saying like you would change the ratio, like where you have 1 what's it called, Tai and Kari, or 2 Tai and Kari and 2 of the TK Kari, or would you say like that was just something you could take out for like the hybrid, like you were mentioning before?
I actually wouldn't get rid of a tamer. Your tamers are really important. They allow you to do what you need to do in terms of memory gain. What I meant by flex spot is like you could either play 4 of these and 1 of these, or or 3 of these and 1 of these, or 4 of these. That's what I meant in terms of flex spot. The hybrid is like if there was a 51st card. But yeah, so it's either basically it's either this or just make this a fourth one of these essentially.
I got it. I got it. All right, we can keep going. I know.
Cool.
I know we have a bunch of cards that are gonna be for the options, so we can get going with that.
Yeah. So the options really self-explanatory. First things first, we got my favorite card of the deck. That's why I blinged them out, even though they're like $1. Holy Wave, recover 1, super cheap, super self-explanatory. You could play it for 3. You could play it for 1 with all 4 Mimis and a Kari. It buys you turns. They hit it in security. Put it on top. Super self-explanatory. Then we have the best card ever printed. Gets around so many things besides Congo. Chaos Grade. I love it. It's so great. Just get off. Just go away. Just get out of here. And it's great because if there's decks that can recover stuff through their trash, I can't remember off the top of my head what can do that. This gets around it. Like today, I think I tucked something to the bottom, and it was a Geo Gray, the security Geo Gray. I tucked it to the last security, and I was like, we'll just see it because I'm not going to swing out on it. Then we play the husband and wife to Chaos Grade, Flame Hell Scythe. Amazing. Gets back your. It gets around. There were no armors today, but I did play against a yellow hybrid. It gets around armor purge and stuff, and it brings back your stuff. It's a fantastic card. Then what's specific to the red package is I played 4 Gaia Force. I used to play Fly Bullet, but then realized that it's hard to you can't Fly Bullet out a Death X or like an Examon or just anything that has like a really high top end. So this was just die, just kill it, delete it, done. There's nothing to say about it, and it's great. And then the other red option is Crimson Blaze. Basically, it's here in addition to for whiteboards, Jesmon, Bloom Lord, just decks that go wide. Then we have 1 Calling from Darkness. It allows you to do your Juno loop with Avenge Kid and Juno, but it also gets back your Death X's. So if you find your Death X's in security and they knock one out, and you're like, okay, cool, I'll get it back with Calling. Like today, I got 1 back with Calling, I got 2 back with Calling, I went Juno, Death X. And then a card that should never ever leave this list is this. Not only is this card great for memory, it's a recovery option, and it's a scare option. Because what I did multiple times today is play this, and I would go like it would be like these 2 are your options to put on top. I would put this in my hand, put this on top security, and now they have to swing into it, or they have to chump check it, or they have to plan into it. So what I do is I would do that. I would do this. They wouldn't swing, and then I would recover again. So it'd be 1 mystery card, if that makes any sense.
No, it absolutely makes a lot of sense, and I do like the mix of the new the red cards in there too, especially this Crimson Blaze, with how much of variation we have in this format. There are those decks still from BT9 that kind of like just promote and raise, and so you have those removals there. But now you have like the Crimson Blaze, and even like Flame Hell Scythe kind of does it when you have like stuff on the field and stuff. But you're able to get rid of like somewhat wide boards. Did you feel like you ever, I guess, don't want to say bricked on it, but do you feel like you got too many in your hand and not enough into security?
I mean, yes and no. That's essentially what this deck is. The deck doesn't take much skill in piloting. A lot of the skill is building it, and then some of it is like micro decisions. But sometimes you're just at the will of your hand because you're not drawing all that much. Mulligans really help with that, and that's how where most of the skill comes in. You're just like, okay, I have 3 of these in my hand. Now I have to make plays knowing that I have 3 of these in my hand. You know what I mean? So if I don't see if I have a bunch of tamers and Digimon in my hand, I'm like, all right, this has to be somewhere. especially if I've gone through like a quarter or like half of my deck. But it's that's really just the issue with playing this deck is sometimes you just don't get lucky. So I tied against. I can go over matchups if you'd like, but I tied against Yellow Hybrid because my game one was abysmal. Even after a mulligan, it was somehow worse.
Yeah, what was your matchups like? And I would say what was your best? Well, tell me your matchups, and then tell me what your best and your worst matchup was.
So I played. I don't remember round by round. I apologize. It's been a long day, but I know I played 3 Gallantmon, 1 Melga, 1 Examon, 1 Dragon Lynx, 6, 1 Yellow Hybrid, and then something else. So that's 7 out of 8 that I can recall. Gallantmon, I lost to 1, and I'll leave it at that. The other 2 I 2-0'd, they decked out. Examon was a little iffy. There were some times where he didn't see his stack and I just Gaia Force it, or I could Chaos Degrade, or that was the turn where I dropped 4 Mimis and I just kept passing turn. So I played it at locals, that matchup on Tuesday. Examon's a little iffy. Melga is pretty favorable, especially if they don't see their pieces and they kind of have to like desperation swing with their stuff or they hard play stuff. You can just you have a decent amount of time. Against Dragon Lynx, that was the first time I played against it. It's a little inconsistent. He was like crossing into his Dorbikmon. It was okay. Like as long as you just have your big kill spells, that's fine. Yellow Hybrid is essentially just who wins game one. We did like a 20, it went really quickly. We did like a 15-minute game one and then like a 35-minute game two, and it ended up drawing.
Yeah, that I would expect that from that kind of matchup.
In terms of just general matchups, this build does well with. Oh, and I played against a Jessamon, so I think that's all. So 3 Gallants, a Dragon Lynx, a Melga, a Yellow Hybrid, a Jessamon. Am I missing something else? I'm sorry.
You said Gallon.
Yeah, three Gallants, a Melga, a Yellow Hybrid, a Dragon Lynx, a Jessamon, and it's okay. But in terms of generalization, anything that goes wide, so you do really well against Bloom Lord if your security is good. Like they could pop off a little bit. You just kind of have to learn like when to drop stuff, when not to drop stuff. I didn't play against any War Gray today. War Gray is as close to an auto loss as you can get. Most of them are playing 3 of the BT1 security, no security War Greymons. So that's really hard. Melga's pretty good. I didn't get to play against Commandramon, but that seems pretty, if I could make a guess, pretty 50-50, like depending on how quickly they can go like this. Like if you can hit a Crimson Blaze off of like a recurring Commandramon off the rare, like you know what I mean? Like it seems, but nothing gave me all that much of a scare. Except like if you play against like Wargrey. Funny enough, Grandis is actually a really hard matchup for this as well. I'm not totally sure why, but I'm kind of afraid of Grandis. But that's it for me. Unless you have any questions.
No, I mean you kind of gave me everything. I mean, I guess you've kind of mentioned before what you would change and what you would put in, like you said. I think that it's an interesting tournament because it's really the first tournament that we have that's going to define the next couple of months. We have December, January, and February before a new set comes out. So really right now it's kind of seeing what the meta is going to look like, and this is the first official tournament, if I'm not mistaken, that allowed the ban list and EX3 to both be legal. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy for you, and I'm glad that you got to the top 16. And even if you got number 16, that's still number 16. So congratulations on that. And I'm sure a lot of people are going to be very happy to take a look and kind of like work on the build and stuff like that to see what if they want to play security control, especially at more regional events and stuff like that.
Yeah. I want to say real quick. I want to shout out. Yeah, I want to do a shout out to my team. Team Doo Doo Destined. We are out of Atlanta. A bunch of friends of ours. This playmat was made by our friend Luis. This is kind of our logo. A really awesome group of guys. I love them. We also have a YouTube channel, if that's okay.
Yeah, go shoot.
Um, yeah, just look up Judo Destined on YouTube. And then I promise them, like I'm putting it on here, I promise them I won't play Security Control next weekend for the Ultimate Cup. I have to play something that takes, I have to play something that wins by taking security.
Yeah. No, I get you. I
Uh,
get you. Well, I mean,
yeah.
you got your top, your national invite, right? This is a national invite if you came in top 32, right?
No, sir. This, if I'm not mistaken, this the way you get yours is through regionals. But I do have my invite already. I top 16th. I got 13th at the Washington D.C. Oticon regional event. I played security control as well.
Hmm.
This was just for prizing in glory, if I'm not
I see.
mistaken.
Well, you have plenty of glory. Well, thank you so much for being on my channel, and this will definitely be on a couple. And good wishes to you, sir.
Thanks. Appreciate you.
No problem.